Okay. Hi, John. Thanks for coming in again. Good to see you. How are you feeling today?
Feel pretty good today.
Okay.
Long day, but
Long day? All right. I appreciate you coming back in for an assessment to be completed. When we spoke last week, you were here with Dr. Smith, and you had indicated some drugs of abuse that you'd been using for quite some time, on and off. But I just wanted to kind of do a further assessment, maybe we can incorporate that to make a better treatment plan for you, and for not only now, but for the future, okay? As I stated last week, the same still stands. I'm a mandated reporter. I have to tell if you're harm to yourself or if you're going to do harm to someone else, all right? And I'm going to be looking at paper to go to notes to make sure I ask all the questions. I will have to refer to my computer as well. But please understand that none of these questions I'm asking are meant to embarrass you, and I hope that you would never think that I'm judging you on any of your answers. Okay? All right, so John Grayson, and you're 39 years old, correct?
John Smith.
Oh, John Smith, I'm sorry, John Smith. In real life, he's John Grayson. And you're 39 years old.
Yes.
All right, you're male. Do you identify as male?
Yes, I do.
Okay, very good. And at this time, who are you living with?
With my wife.
With your wife, okay. In your own house, you're not living with any parents?
No.
Okay, very good. What brought you in today, besides the referral from Dr. Smith? Was there anything that is going on in your personal life that would make you want to maybe complete this assessment?
I just want to get a grip on my entire life. Substance abuse problems and, a lot of little traumas that have been going on over the years, and I figure a good time to work on it.
At this point in time, are you on probation?
Yes.
You are? Okay,
Yes,
who are you
I
on
am.
probation with?
Cuyahoga County.
Okay, Cuyahoga County. That's felony court?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember what your charges are?
I'm charged with theft, receiving stolen property, forgery.
Forgery, okay. And do you know who your probation officer is?
William Scott.
William Scott. And do you know how long you're on probation?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. Very good. Thank you. I appreciate that. We're going to go back and forth a little bit. We'll talk about how you grew up. We'll talk about when you used. We'll talk about what makes your heart happy, things like that. What I'd like to do first, though, is I would like, do you have any medical complications as far as, do you have diabetes? Do you have high blood pressure? Do you have
High blood pressure.
high blood pressure? Okay. And do you manage that with medications?
Yes.
You do see your doctor regularly?
Yes.
Okay, great. One thing that we always like, obviously, being in a doctor's office and doing a treatment plan and an assessment, we always like to make sure that you're taking care of yourself as well. Sometimes when life becomes too much and when the trauma becomes too much, you tend to forget to take care of yourself. So that's great. That's really great. Are you seeing a mental health doctor for anything?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen a mental health doctor or been admitted to a mental health institution?
No.
All right. When it comes to people who are supportive of you, tell me what your environment looks like as far as sober support. Do you have any?
Ooh, let me try to get this straight. Right now, I'm kind of on the outs with everybody because of my drug usage. It's not that they don't love me.
Okay.
I think they're more disappointed. So
Okay.
until I kind of get my life together,
Mm-hmm.
then I won't be receiving a lot of support
Okay.
as far as that go. But that's another thing that brought me here.
Okay. How do you feel about 12-step meetings?
They work.
They work. Have you been to them before?
Yeah, I used to go as long as I went. I stayed sober or clean, and when I stopped going, I started using again.
And did you have a sponsor?
Yeah, I had a sponsor.
You had a sponsor. Okay, great. Would it be someone that you can get in touch with now, or do you feel like maybe you would need a different sponsor if that's the route you took?
I think it's when we went our separate ways, it was time.
It was time. Okay. Sponsor's a great person. They're a guide. They've been through what you've been through, but you know better than anybody whether or not you're a good fit.
Right.
So, all right, great. Have you ever been on medicated assisted therapy? Have you heard of that before?
Medicated? No, I haven't.
Okay.
If you explain it, I might.
Sure.
No.
What you're hearing mostly in the community right now is Vivitrol. That is an opioid blocker, and that's what it's an injectable shot that opioid addicts get every 30 days. But it also works for alcoholics.
Something like methadone or something.
It's in the family, yes. So I don't believe that you've been on it, but I just wanted to make sure because really your choice of drug being
So the choice is PCP.
Exactly. Have you been in treatment before for your drug use?
Well, I went on a cocaine bender for a while, and that's what the 2 trips to treatment was all about, the Stella Maris.
Oh, to Stella's? Oh, they're a great facility. Okay.
Yeah, they saved my life. So
You said 2 times?
Twice.
Okay, do you remember what years that was?
04, maybe 08, something like that.
Okay. Was that inpatient treatment or outpatient?
Inpatient.
And did you complete it successfully?
Yes.
You did? Oh, great. How long were you sober after you completed?
About 6 years.
That's fantastic. Any other treatment facilities?
Rosary Hall.
Rosary Hall. Okay. You got detoxed at Rosary Hall?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you go after Rosary Hall? Anywhere?
Stella.
Stella again. Okay, great. All right. Very good. And then I do know in reviewing your paperwork that you have been to prison. Did you receive any kind of treatment while you were in prison?
Just meetings, 12-step meetings.
12-step meetings. Okay, that's great. It's something. All right. Awesome. Very good. Thank you for that. Any current medications that you're on? High blood pressure. I know you're on medication for that, correct?
Right.
Are you on any other medications?
No.
No? Okay. No seizure medication, no heart medication or anything like that? Okay. Anything in the past where you had to take the medications long term?
I've been taking that for about 8 years.
Okay. Very good. That's awesome.
Excuse me.
All right. Okay, so you told me that when it comes to medical, I already know that you do have high blood pressure, so we don't need to rehash that. Are there any other things that you have that you need addressed physically? Do you have a bad back? Do you had something broken that's not been? Do you need any kind of pacemaker issues or anything along those lines? I mean, you appear to be a very healthy young man, so.
So far, so good.
Okay, great. And of course, you do have a primary health care doctor because you do see him for the high blood pressure. Oh, her, I'm sorry, her. That was terrible for me to assume that. All right, in addition to your high blood pressure, I know that you have to have a low salt diet.
Right.
I know it's difficult to maintain a low salt diet, but that is something that I know that your doctor would have ordered. Anything else besides the low salt diet? That are you vegan? Are you vegetarian? Do you
No
not
pork.
eat meat? No
No
pork. Okay.
Non-religious purposes.
Okay. Non-religious.
Most people here don't eat pork. They think you're Muslim.
Oh, got it. I have a gentleman that doesn't eat meat any longer because he worked at a factory in Texas for about a month. So
That's what got me off pork.
there you go. All right.
Work with pigs.
Do you have any allergies at all, whether it be drugs or food?
2, iodine, and wow, tell me I can't remember. What's the antibiotic? What am I talking? What's the most? Penicillin.
Penicillin. Oh, the psyllin family.
Penicillin.
All right. And you're not pregnant?
Not to my knowledge.
All right. And when you are in a mindset where you are in the process of either getting or staying sober, do you use yoga? Do you have any meditation, any relaxation techniques that you use in order to bring yourself back to center?
No, I'm just shut down.
Um,
I guess that's a form of meditation. I just get real still.
Okay, well, it kind of is. I think shutting down and being still
Perform.
isn't a bad deal, but sometimes that's an isolation thing, so you have to be super careful about that. Okay, now we're going to kind of go to employment history, all right? And then once we get past that, we're going to go a little bit into the history of when you started to use, all
Okay.
right? So, are you working now?
No,
Okay. Have you ever worked?
no.
Okay. How do you pay the bills?
I choose not to say.
Okay. Self-employed.
There you go.
Okay. And have you ever been in the military?
No.
All right. Going back a little bit, because I don't like to start the assessment with real heavy information, because it takes a toll on people talking about themselves. Let's talk about your use. You said you've used PCP and you've gone on cocaine benders. Going back to your use, have you ever smoked marijuana?
Yes.
Okay. And how old were you when you started smoking?
About 12.
12. And was that an experimental thing, or did it turn into a weekend thing, a daily thing? Did you just try it?
That's
What
the
did that
natural
look like?
Natural progression.
Okay.
Weekend to daily, almost daily. I didn't have a lot of money when I was 12, so it couldn't be daily.
All right. And you did not test positive for marijuana on this, on your urine sample. When's the last time you smoked?
Wow. I want to say around 30, 35 years ago.
Okay. Kind of grew out of it.
I learned I could go to sleep for free.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
Right. All right. Have you used, you said you used cocaine. How old were you when you started using cocaine?
Ooh. 25, 26.
Okay. And who introduced you to that?
I want to say my sister.
Okay. And do you smoke it or do you snort it? How do you use it?
Smoked it.
Okay. How often are you smoking?
I don't smoke now.
No?
Where was I there?
Mm-hmm.
Cocaine?
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day, daily. Okay. And that got you in trouble?
Did it.
Okay.
Big time.
All right. How much were you spending?
I can't actually put a dollar figure on it because it fluctuated depending upon the amount I had.
Okay.
But if I just had to average it out, I would say like $75 a day.
Okay. When's the last time you smoked?
Oh, I want to say 10 years, 8 years. Cocaine, not PCP.
Okay.
PCP, yeah.
Okay, so it's been about 8 years.
Yeah, we on cocaine, right?
Okay, all right. Did you ever use any other drugs, MDMA, LSD, any psychedelics, any?
MDNA.
It's like an amphetamine.
No.
Any party drugs, any, what else? Have you ever shot heroin? Have you ever snorted heroin?
Snorted some heroin before.
You snorted? Okay.
I don't like it.
You didn't like it?
No, it's
Okay.
a downer.
Yeah, kind of like a one-time thing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the PCP then. How old were you when you first started smoking?
I would say 20, around there.
Okay. Who introduced you to it?
Again, my sister.
Okay. Do you use with your sister or you use with somebody else?
We have.
Okay.
She's not my partner. No.
No, okay. When's the last time you smoked? It's okay.
Yesterday. I said
Okay.
yes, I'll give you
Okay,
yesterday.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Only because I know you tested positive, so I just, I wanted to thank you for your honesty. I appreciate that. So when you're smoking, how many cigarettes are you smoking?
Oh, might dip one in the morning,
Okay,
one in the afternoon, maybe a couple in the evening.
okay. Spending a lot of money on it?
Well, not really.
Okay,
It's got cheaper over the years.
okay,
What used to cost $500 costs $175 now. So
Okay. All right. So I just want to very quickly. Smoked marijuana starting at the age of 12. It was a natural progression to almost daily, but you haven't used marijuana in quite some time. Heroin you snorted one time. It wasn't your thing. You just never went back to it. When it came to cocaine, you were smoking it. You started with your sister. You used to do $75 a day, and then you haven't touched it in about 8 years. Okay. And I noticed that coincided with your prison time as well. So you quit, and then you just never picked up again. Is that correct? Okay. And then you started smoking PCP with your sister when you were 20. You would smoke one in the morning, one in the afternoon, maybe a couple in the evening, and you can't really put a price tag on how much you pay for it because the price fluctuates over the years. Is that everything correct? Did I hear you correctly? Okay.
yeah.
All right, very good. Okay, so we're about halfway done. All right,
Okay.
do you need a break or anything, or
No,
do you want to
fine.
go ahead and go through?
Let's push
Okay,
through.
great. How far did you get in school?
11th grade.
Okay, did you earn your GED?
No.
Okay. And can you read and write?
Yes.
Okay, and let's talk about use. Did your use affect your schooling?
No, I didn't
Okay.
start using until after that.
Okay, so the marijuana thing was just,
Yeah, that,
okay, no impact whatsoever. Okay. And, all right, so let's talk about your legal history. All right, you told me previously that you are on probation for theft, RSP, and forgery, correct?
yes.
No pending charges?
No.
Okay. 2 years probation, okay. And prison, what were you sent to prison for?
This was a split sentence.
Oh, okay.
It was a split, 1 year, 2 years probation.
All right, and then have you been arrested previous to this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me the last 2 times prior to this?
The time before this, immediately before this, was a burglary.
Okay.
And before that, drug paraphernalia.
Are these all out of Cuyahoga County?
Yes.
Okay. I can look that up on the website. We don't need to rehash any of that, okay? So, and you said no pending charges, correct?
Right.
Okay. All right. In the last month, have you wished you were dead or wished you could go to sleep and not wake up?
No.
Okay. And have you had any actual thoughts of killing yourself?
No.
And you do know that this is a safe place, that if something does change, please feel free to come and talk to myself or anybody on the staff. This is definitely a safe place for you to be, okay?
Okay.
All right, and you already said that no psychiatric or mental health in the past, all right? And no meds being used. All right, any sexual addiction, gambling addiction, anything, shopping addiction going on with the PCP use?
No, not that I know.
Okay.
Just actually put a finger on it. I do gamble, but I'm not a regular at the casino or anything. But
Okay.
I will gamble 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay. When you gamble 2 or 3 times a week, is that money earmarked for something else and you use it to gamble and then you're unable to pay bills?
Sometimes.
Okay. Are you a big winner?
No,
Me neither.
not a big loser.
Oh, there you go. All right. You do identify as a heterosexual male? I know.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I have to ask those questions. I told you, never judging or passing any kind of embarrassing or judging things kinds of. How old were you when you first started having sexual intercourse?
17.
Okay, and was it consensual or were you forced?
Consensual.
Okay. All right. Any cultural, ethnic, spiritual, religious stuff that I need to be aware of so that when we do put a treatment plan together, we're aware of anything that we need to be aware of culturally to be competent?
Question. I don't understand that.
Is there a religion that you practice that may not go with the 12 steps?
No, I'm good.
Okay. As far as religious, do you practice
Non-denominational.
non-denominational? Okay. If you're Muslim, we give you time to pray, things like that. So I just, and we do have church services on Sunday, okay, for people who identify as Christian.
Okay.
All right, so social recreational activities. Tell me what you like to do when you're not using. What makes your heart happy?
Sports.
Oh, sports. Do you like to watch or do you like to play?
Both.
Play and watch, okay. Which ones in particular? Anything better than the other?
I think basketball #1, football 2. I think golf and edge baseball out of my life. I do believe so. I just done that. And tennis rounds it up.
Nice. All right. What do you like to do when you're out and about?
When I'm out and about,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing. I'm hanging in the park this summer. Oh, that sounds creepy.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Hanging in the parks, that's all right.
Yeah, that sounds kind of creepy.
Were you with your children? Were you with your friends? Okay,
You know, they have
all
all
right.
those outdoor concerts and
Barbecues and stuff?
all that stuff.
Okay, that sounds really nice.
Yeah. Especially how pizza be.
Well, okay.
Just throw it out.
Okay, all right. Strengths and abilities. If you had to describe something that you're really great at or that people admire about you, what would you say?
Communication skills.
Communication. Okay. That's a fantastic skill to have. If you were to say your weakness and limitations, what would people say, or what would you say that you need to make better for yourself?
I have low tolerance, and I don't know another way to say this, so forgive me for bullshit. I have no tolerance at all.
All right.
I don't know how would I put that worded, how you think it should be worded.
Would me saying everything is black and white, or there's only a right way and a wrong way? Or would you say, don't lie, I don't like people lying to me?
Bullshit.
No tolerance for, how about for BS? Can I? Okay. All right. So when it comes to treatment, what's your motivation? What's bringing you here?
My motivation, what brings me here today is I'm just, what they say, sick and tired of being sick and tired. I don't want to live like this anymore.
Okay.
My life has shrunk to like 3 blocks. My
Okay.
neighborhood, I want to get out of that.
Okay. Growing up, tell me what growing up looked like for you. Did you live with mom and dad?
Well, no. I never mom and dad. No and yes, no and yes.
Okay.
Like my father lived next door,
Okay.
with his mother and his grandmother, which was my grandmother and great-grandmother.
Okay.
In my home, it was my mother, my great-grandmother, my grandfather, my mother, great-grandmother, grandfather, me.
Okay.
So it was all like extended family. It was all right there.
Kind of your village was right there? All right. Are you an only child?
I was up until the age of 14.
Okay. Then what happened at 14?
My sister showed up, and then my brother showed up.
Oh. Okay. Are they half siblings?
I see. I don't know where y'all get that from. I mean, half siblings don't. That's not a term we use in the black community.
Okay. I apologize.
No, it's okay, but most Caucasians don't understand that. If your mother had them, they're your brothers and sisters. Right?
Okay.
If your father's kids is your half siblings, That's your mother.
Oh,
If you have the same mother,
Okay,
it's your sister and brother.
got it.
And your
Okay.
father's kids is your half sister. I don't know why that is. I get what you're coming
Yeah.
from, but that's just
Wow.
how it is.
Okay.
And if you use that term to a black mother, you might get cussed out.
Okay. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. That is not something that I knew.
Yeah.
So your sister and your brother,
All from my mother.
from your mom.
It's my brothers and sisters.
How did they show up? What?
I mean, she was born first, and then he was born after that.
But you thought you were an only child.
No, I was. At 14, she was born. When I was 14.
Got it. Oh, I see. Oh, showed up being born.
Yeah, being
Okay, I
born.
thought maybe
Yeah,
they
like
showed
she
up
came
like
somewhere else.
came to
Yeah.
the house.
No.
Okay,
I did
all
about
right.
15 or 16, my brother was born.
Got it. Okay. Do you have a relationship with your siblings?
Yeah, we're real close.
Okay.
Well, me and my sister, I'm mad at my brother right now.
Uh-oh. Why are you mad at your brother?
He never there when I need him.
Okay. What would you need your brother for?
More support, more than financially, because he don't have a dime.
Okay. So is he a good listener?
I don't know. I really don't know. I never needed him for one thing, and he wasn't there.
Okay. Okay. Your sister, you said you're really close to her?
That's my girl.
That's you're the big brother. Oh,
No, I
good.
think she's the big sister.
Uh-oh.
The way she said, she the boss.
Oh, she's the boss. All right. Are your parents still living?
No,
Okay.
neither.
Okay. Growing up, did you always have a roof over your head, food in your belly, clothes on your back?
Yeah.
Did you ever want for anything? Did you move
Nothing.
around a lot?
No.
No. Okay. Always attended the same schools? Any trauma growing up? Meaning something that wasn't normal for you?
Well,
You know, what's normal for me may be different normal for you.
I seen my sister get cut in the face. Her and a girl was fighting.
Oh my.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, so that was kind of traumatizing.
Okay.
And my brother, he got caught in a house fire. He had burned like over 40% of his body.
Wow. And they're both okay though?
Yeah, they're alive and well.
Okay.
And my nephew was in a gang and he got killed. This was like 3 years ago.
Wow.
So that affected my sister, which affected me.
That's pretty heavy stuff.
Oh yeah.
Have you talked to anybody about any of this? Or is this where you kind of shut down and stood
No,
still?
the shutdown was when I was getting off of drugs or whatever. But nothing to talk about.
Are you comfortable talking about it?
Don't bother me.
Okay.
It is what it is. It happened. It's over. It happened. You might need to ask them question.
Okay. Current relationships. You told me about your sister. How are things with your wife?
Rocky, but that's our norm. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. Tell me. What
I
does
mean-
Rocky but the norm mean to
I
you?
mean, she don't like what I do,
Okay.
but she deal with it. You know, I get all the cold shoulders and no comments, don't talk, whatever. You know, but
What about your children?
well, what about them?
Well, I mean, in the chart it says you had 6 children, ages 16 to 6, and the oldest is a boy or girl.
Oh boy,
Okay. How's your relationship with him?
we good. I mean, it could be better.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. But he sees what's going on between me and his mother, then he see I'm not working, so, you know, the respect level dropping a notch. But other than that, we okay.
Okay.
And the rest of the kids, they kind of follow his lead.
Okay.
You know, so I'm
Okay.
okay. I'm not in great standings with him, but I'm in okay. So, I mean, they would come to my funeral, I believe.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well,
Okay.
that's something we can talk about at a later time. So,
What's the matter?
okay. And I appreciate your honesty in all of this. I know sometimes it's difficult to talk about personal things with somebody you don't really know. Anyone in your family have substance abuse issues?
My brother
Your brother?
and my sister.
Oh, okay. What does your brother use?
Crack cocaine.
Is he a daily user?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Does it have any effect on you?
Not at all.
None? Okay. And what about your sister?
She clean now.
Oh, she's clean. Oh, that's fantastic.
She's been clean for like 4 years.
Oh, good for her. And what was the substance that she used?
Crack cocaine.
Okay.
My brother do kind of affect me, now that I think about it. I don't want to say it like that.
What kind of effect does it have on you? What does it look like for you?
Disappointment. I guess he must see the same thing in me, though. So, who knows?
Well, that's something we can certainly talk about. When it comes to specific information that you want people to have about you, besides your probation officer, is there anyone that you would like me to share any of this information with?
No.
All right. So we're getting to the end of the assessment, and I just want to briefly go over some things with you. You have rules and regulations with probation that I have to follow. I absolutely would love to work with you if you'd be willing to work with me as well, as far as maybe putting a treatment plan together, some additional counseling. I feel like maybe there's some issues we can touch upon that might help you learn to deal with things better, maybe purge a little bit so that you can clean your head. And also there's certain things that probation says. And the way it works is I will advocate for you, but probation drives the bus. If they say this has to be done, then this has to be done. I really don't have any wiggle room when it comes to them. Most importantly, probation wants to see you sober.
No.
That's the number one priority,
We're
okay?
on the same team with that
You,
one.
exactly. So with sobriety comes challenges, and with those challenges, that is where I will come into play. Dr. Smith can come into play, certainly if it has to do with anything physically, because now that you're going to be working on sobriety, you're going to start feeling different things. Your body aches are going to start being there, and I don't want you to feel like you can't go to Dr. Smith or myself with anything like that, okay? The other thing is I would like to recommend you to an intensive outpatient program. What an intensive outpatient program looks like is it's 3 hours a day, 3 days a week, and it's over a course of 12 weeks. It can be during the day or it can be in the evening, but they're in 3-hour blocks. And it's a great way to not only learn something about yourself, but to have camaraderie with somebody else who's in the process of getting sober as well. And it's a fluid group.
It's not thinking for a change, is it?
It is not thinking for a change.
Well, I was just gonna say,
No, it's not thinking for a
I'm
change.
not doing another thinking for a change.
That's okay. No, it's not thinking for a change. But what the fluidity of the group is, the fluidity of the group is that some people will be leaving while you're coming. And while you're there, you've got people leaving and other people coming. So you're going to move through the stages through the group together. Definitely, I would like to see you get a sponsor. You said you had a sponsor in the past. They're a fantastic guide.
Right.
You never want to climb a mountain without a guide. Going through sobriety without a guide is tough. That phone call you want to make. And the other thing is they want you to get your GED.
I go to school, really.
Here's the thing. I actually have a really great guy that I work with. It's not your typical Seeds of Literacy GED program, but it is a really great program. But I want to address that in about 6 weeks. I don't even want to take a look at that.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to take a look at that for about 6 more weeks. All right, that is something that can come in time. All right.
Okay.
Right now, your health and your sobriety is most important, so I really want to focus on that. All right. So I want to get you set up with your IOP, your intensive outpatient, which is here on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. You can either do morning or evening. What would you like to?
I'm a morning person.
You're a morning person. Great.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
since we downtown, nowhere to park, you got bus tickets?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You'll get a bus ticket, you'll get 2 bus tickets, one to get home and one to get back the following class period. The other thing I'd like to do is I'd like you to meet with me once a week.
That's all?
That's it, just to kind of check in, let's see where you are, and if
Instead of going to GED, I could just come in here.
we're not gonna worry about GED, okay? Let's really just focus on sobriety and,
So I can only come once, that's it? That's all?
you can come more if you need
I'm
to.
gonna schedule me for 2, can I get 2 visits?
You can get 2 a week, absolutely.
I like talking to you.
All right, and what we can do is we can actually schedule it before your class, after your class, or on days you don't have class.
Days
That
I
is
don't have
up to you.
class, because I don't do long days, okay?
Okay, all
By
right.
the time I get to you, I'll be miserable.
All right, well, you have class Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, so why don't we schedule, are you comfortable with Tuesday, Friday then? Okay, we can do 8 a.m. I come in at 7, the building opens at 7:30, we can do 8 a.m.
That works.
And we'll start with 2 a week. And this is your treatment, this is your sobriety. I don't know you as well as you know you, all right? We're gonna get to know each other, we're gonna talk about some things, and we're gonna try and get to the root of what we can do to help you stay sober.
Okay, that works for me.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm going to give you my business card. I'm going to have you go up front with Rosemary, and you'll sign all the paperwork for IOP. Your color is going to be blue. Every day that you come in, there's going to be a color on the board, and if that's your color, you have to drop.
Okay.
All right? Again, you're going to go up front. You're going to solidify everything with Rosemary. I'm going to give her the paperwork, let her know that you're on the books for 8 o'clock on Tuesdays and Fridays, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. It's a pretty strong group we got here.